Hey Leo, how are you doing? Let's find out. It's going to be time sensitive. We're heading in. Let's see, today's July 1st, the day that I'm recording it. I'll probably have this up by tomorrow, so let's say the 2nd or the 3rd. Let's say within the following week to 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, okay? Something is going to take place. These readings tend to be increasingly predictive, but we'll find out. I've shuffled and intuitively split this deck just to see where we're starting off with starting energy. Ooh, Lovers upright. That's nice. Wow. Okay. Well, if you wanted divine timing, interesting. So this is either actually literally a love situation, or it's, the combined meanings of the other versions of these cards that have to do with choices, ethics, information. Now we do have Gemini energy. The sun is still in Gemini. We're in Cancer season, but technically, as always, if you go to Sky Safari or Stellarium, you'll see that the sun is still in Gemini, about 24 to 25 degrees behind where the seasons are of the signs. And we have Neptune. Now Neptune just went retrograde. It's in Pisces. Others will say that it's in, what do they want to say? That it's in Aquarius, but it's not. It's in Pisces. It's right next to they're the two fish, right? And one has the longer end of the leash, yes? And it's right at near the nose of that fish. Okay. And we have 12th house and 3rd house. So something to do possibly with soul contract or soul contracts, many of them. 12th house brings many soul contracts typically, but there's a degree of free will in your life. And so maybe we have free will and choices, or we have a definite soul contract. We have a definite soulmate situation going on. Okay, so let's just take those. I'm not going to look at the cards beneath because that'll just distract from us getting into this, is what I believe right now. So, what about this forced change of perspective? Now he's in the upright position, that 4 of stability. It's upside down. Now, very much the Magician card in final mode, right? But your Messiah card, your Jesus on the cross kind of, right? Like, I'll be back. No doubt that's how we ended up with the symbolism of Jesus on the cross. Okay, something's just flipping. Well, yeah, that's fitting. Okay, now the Knight of Cups. Somebody's on the move. Somebody's coming in. Somebody's got something to say. Somebody wants something. It's a Scorpio energy for me. It could be anybody. It doesn't have to be any water sign in particular. It could be anybody that's in a state of water. But obviously somebody, it's in the upright, so somebody's optimistic. Somebody is, and it's possibly this Hanged Man carrying more water energy, possibly, but maybe not. What does this knight want? Is this Leo, or is this somebody else that Leo is? Okay, not that half of the deck. Fine. I kind of like the red, yellow, green going on here. It's pretty. So we have divine timing here, and we're going to go right into the flames. Okay, we're going to put those 3 swords over to the side there behind him, right where they fell. And there's kind of a process. When a thing comes out in a sort of a 45-degree angle for me, it's not stuck, it's not sideways. It's in the process. So there's doing the right thing. There's the heartbreak. There's the 3 of manifesting. Yes, 3 is always about manifesting. And it's behind him. He's looking past, right? He's turned his back. We've got his back to the pain. He's possibly done the right thing. We've got more Gemini energy here. For me, this is Gemini. Others will put it as Libra, but as I always say, I changed up air and earth classifications, better to match their houses, several other qualities about them. And so I put the ace through the four of swords with Gemini, and because I put Gemini as cardinal. If you look at third house that Gemini rules, right? It's yeah. So the reasons why Gemini is otherwise classified as mutable. Ptolemy back in the day, he used all the cardinal points. Yes, the solstices and the equinoxes as the cardinal points. Then that's why Capricorn, which is ridiculous because Capricorn rules the 10th house of careers, so should clearly be the 8, 9, 10 of Pentacles. He put Capricorn as cardinal, and it's like, well, no, there's not. It's like if I don't have a problem taking apart religions through studying how screwed up their literatures are and fudged with, you know, then why would I have a problem doing the same with astrology where, you know, there's more evidence leaning towards the other. So I say all that because I don't want you just to like write me off in terms of thinking I'm just making up my own rules here. I actually believe that they're trying to get me to do that. They're trying to get me to understand that and, you know, bring that in. So if we have Gemini energy twice here, there's something that has to do with the timing and the season. Putting the pain behind, male or female. So that's good. I think it seems like it's good. Doesn't seem false. This forced change of perspective. So that seems very much like the, you know, you had to go through something to get to the stability of the Four of Swords. But we're in the Knight of Cups would be in a 5, 6, 7 of Cups phase. So the necessary change, you know, leaving behind the 3 cups, picking up the 2 cups, yes. The spiritual fulfillment here, but the 6th of the gift from either somebody in the past, somebody like an ancestor or a guide, or somebody in the family, or a friendship. There's some kind of a 6th that he's experiencing. There's a gift coming through, and then there's going to be the transformation of the 7 into becoming the full, you know, the beginnings of the full-fledged psychic, spiritual muse, magician, this Hanged Man, right? So that's what that knight is going through. Interesting. We want the other back and forth between the decks. I'll try one. Oh. Okay, we've got some sideways energy. No wonder it's hesitant. Ah, interesting. Now, the Queen of Cups wears every crown. 12th house. By the time you reach 12th house, Pisces is all signs and all houses, right? And that's why Pisces, you know, well, struggle's not the right word. Everybody struggles, but so when we say the Empress wears every crown, or the Emperor wears every crown, I would change that actually to the King and Queen of Cups wear every crown, and they all 8 crowns. So then you have the 8 of strength, yes, because you have 4 queens and 4 kings, so 8 crowns. Now. So she is already been through this phase, this night phase. She is Pisces, so maybe we both have a change of perspective necessary. But really, what's she going through? She is going through probably a lot of responding to a lot of people, looking for time for herself. There is an interruption between her and her guides because she's sideways, so there could be exhaustion here. Again, there was hesitation for that card to come out. Something is over. This is huge. Okay, so either the student is becoming teacher or the teacher is becoming student, or the contract is, part of the contract's done, or there was a past contract. Interesting. Necessary change again with the 5. Some authority is gone. There could have been a, who pointed it out? I want to give credit where credit's due. Was it Soul Source Tarot? It's been a while. It could have been Phoenix Kia. I'll see if I can find it and give proper credit, but somebody pointed out that the Hierophant in reverse could be hospitalization. So there could have been an illness. It's under her. And I was just saying she was, yeah. So, and it could have everything to do with the 3 of Swords, his 3 of Swords. Oh, hitting the floor. Yeah, okay. So maybe some tower stuff is going on. It's coming out sideways, and it's 2. Wow. Can we see? Yeah, okay. All right, the 9 of Wands. I've got Sagittarius energy now. And Hermit sideways stuck. Look at all of these major arcana, for God's sake. No kidding. Now the Lovers are in the upright. They're not reversed. What do we need to know here? Well, I'm going to put... They kind of just fit there. Okay, so maybe the Knight has been through a divorce, right? The heartbreak, we'll see. We'll see where this really belongs. But for the 9 of Wands to be caught between the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Wands, right? So the 9, now that's interesting. That's one of my major spirit guides showing up. That's one of my major spirit guides. She's been coming through lately. Now it might not, well, yeah. She shows up when there's a warning, a feeling of being too alone in a relationship. And needing to do, you know, the self-work. But she's on, we're on pause, like it's sideways. So maybe it's been the situation. And proving, the 8 of proving yourself to yourself, the 9 of proving yourself to everyone, and the 10 of completion. Yes. All those soul contracts. What was I saying about, yes, she might have you know, she's dealing with a lot of soul contracts. Absolutely dealing with a lot of soul contracts. Yeah, so she's possibly lost her way for right now. And that's why he's looking for her. Right? She's just exhausted. This Hermit sideways between functioning alone and, you know, well, we have what? We have another 9. Yep. We have, okay, 1 9 echoing another 9. Strength and the world. Am I right? What's 10? Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, no, we know world is 21. It's the final card. Wheel is what I was trying to say. So between strength and the wheel. The turning, the Jupiter, the energy, the, initiating. Yeah? Getting that wheel turning. The timing of things. But the strength to do it. And so going within. So she's between having the strength and, engaging, putting that wheel, because Jupiter, energy, Sagittarius, all that stuff, right? Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Here we have Sagittarius here. So we have 2 9s. We have 2 9s. So what needs to happen over the next couple of weeks? What does Leo need to be watching for, thinking about? Since there's so much timing here, what's the moment to seize? What's coming through that needs to be addressed? Again, okay, so 8. Between the 9 and the 7, the transformation and the proving yourself to everyone else, proving yourself to yourself, but working on things. Devil's in the details. Again, that's strength. An infinity loop. Yeah. Capricorn for me, energy. They would say Virgo, but I'll say Capricorn because I'll say 10th house. The career energy, the beginning of career energy. We're talking about that's what you need to be doing. Okay, I need a little bit more. Or I don't. I wonder. Just Leo, it's not like a 4 of Swords. What do you need to do? I mean, we need to get to that 10, but free will. Okay. That gift that needs to come through. But this is, for me, is they've made me understand for over a year now. When they send this card to me, it's about free will versus soul contract, and what are we saying here about free will and soul contracts? And this contract is up. So I think what's happening is you're both experiencing a certain amount of free will, or one of you is possibly, that you haven't experienced before. But this contract, there is a contract between the two of you. Do you know that? But what about this is that Hierophant? I think that's a past relationship. I think that's... Great. Okay, Taurus energy for me. Others would put it as Capricorn, but I put it as Taurus. 2nd house. So the choices, it can be juggling, it can be making up your mind about something for the first time. But it's landing, it's clarifying this Hierophant, which is so interesting. Something has been broken. Again, it's Taurus energy. I mean, this Hierophant rule, you know, Hierophant is a Taurus card. There's a lack of interference. There's an absence of interference from earthly situations. Yes, the matrix. The matrix. You're both, if you're both in this Hanged Man situation, or this is what's dominating, then really the awareness is full. We have Hermit here as well, which is a pre-version of, right? And Virgo is directly opposite Pisces. So the Hermit is directly opposite Hanged Man in the chart. And so when things are directly opposing each other, it's about reconciling them to each other, figuring out how they're complementary. So the Muse and the out in the world versus the isolation. Yes, because the Neptune is engaged with everybody, and the Virgo, the mystic, the, what am I trying to say? The Hermit, just is right. It's about, well, people can go to the Hermit, but typically, you know, they're gonna, it's alone time. So the self versus the other, but many others. And so there's a question of how to find the balance, yes, so that there's time for the two of you. It's just, so it's decision time. That's what's in the next couple of weeks, or a week or so. And we do have the scales here echoing this. Yeah. Yeah. You both have an ace in your hands. You both have a cup in your hands. So you need to know what this contract is about, and you're both spiritually on the same page. One of you is slightly ahead of the other. Or one has Piscean strengths and one has Scorpion strengths. Yes. One is more about being that engaged with so many people, and the other is like, well, we know what happens for Scorpios so much of the time, a lot of isolation, just because people don't want to know. People don't want to know what Scorpios can tell them, right? Whereas the Pisces, you know, they'll engage much more often. They're much more interested in making, you know, like in actually entertaining, right, a social situation. Not that Scorpios aren't, but really just, they can cope with the bullshit and play with it. Yes, make an art form of it. And Scorpios just, no thanks. No. I'm using up energy on that I could use for something else, right? And so that might be part of what's going on here, is actual just complete awareness of each other. Because I'm talking to a Leo. But Leo carries psychic, so you might, one of you and your partner, like one of you is more towards socializing and one's more towards, not that they're not towards socializing, it's just they need people to become more real, and you're much, you know, so that could be it. But otherwise, so this one is exhausted, and this one is possibly trying to sustain, and that, because that's all the fire we have, is the Sagittarius fire here. Very interesting. Because this would be swords energy, cups energy, swords. Then, but no, so much pentacles. So there's real world concerns. It's basically the stability at home. Yeah, your matrix stability. But it's all coming together, which is fast, you know. So this is it wouldn't be a time for assuming too much. It would be a time for really coming together as psychic masterminds, intuitive masterminds, spiritual masterminds, and your core selves. Like, there's no room for any bullshit between you two at this point. Not that there was before, but this is the emphasis. So yeah, decision time about is there any last thing that, I mean, we do have, basically we're just elaborating on those two cards, right? Okay, something facing her, justice. Because we needed more major arcana. Now what's interesting is I hesitated before I shuffled the cards. She was in reverse at the bottom of the deck, and I thought, no, I'm going to shuffle and see what comes out. And so here she is. Now this is High Priestess energy to me, manifesting as a decision in the matrix. Here we have those scales again. So, but she's in balance, like she's on pause. And so she's holding back. We've got that Hierophant there. And this is Venus, right? Venus in Libra. And so co-ruler of Taurus. So we've got her probably she did something about that Hierophant to make room for the two of you so you can make up your minds. Or she's going to do that. It's kind of on, it's on pause. It's going to depend on your decisions. That's what it's going to depend on. Truly. You've reached some level in your contract where it's like, you know, the level of understanding is such that yeah. So either this contract between you two is actually even up itself, and now you've played out your contract with each other, and now you can choose to stay together or not. That very much could be it. And he's hopeful, and this person's hopeful, and this person's not quite sure. But again, so evaluate the contract, yeah, so wherever I cut off, but no, so now actually work out a contract. Now that your soul contract has possibly played out, right? And it's maybe time's up, and you're free to move on to the next or whatever, and it feels like it could be an ending. Maybe it feels like it's very definitely, there is an ending on the table here. But now you step into a real relationship in this time. Now what's interesting is who is coming through, because somebody, Leo, in one of the last readings, now there was luck coming through, there was an opportunity coming through, that was an excellent opportunity to seize. If that's connected to this, it might be. And then before that, somebody who had died too soon was ready to start working with you through the spirit world. So if that's connected to this as well, I feel like this is a relationship here and now. But whatever's happening here is possibly very much connected to that person on the other side that is, you know, because it would have everything to do with what you're doing in your pentacles and who you are. I think there's a sense of identity that needs to come through here. Okay, Leo. We've got some heavy duty action going on. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have almost half the zodiac here. second house, sixth house, seventh house, 12th house, third house. So, a lot to do. Yeah, a lot of housework. Lot of housework. And Kali was cleaning house for Aries back in May. So quite possibly cleaning house for you now. Yeah, in another way, in a whole other way. Okay, all right, Leo, I will be back in a week or two. I think what I'll do is I will do a house reading within a week's time before I do another normal reading. Okay, much love, Leo. Good luck.